What up, tube? We in the garage right now. As y'all can see in the background, got the boxing bag and a speed bag on deck. Try to go at that time to time. But anyways, I'm going to give you a video on why anatomically, physiologically, and biologically, while we're supposed to be herbivores. And this isn't necessarily a criticism or a strike at the meat eaters, because I've been on both sides. I know what it's like to consume the meats and to eat the lively and radiant foods. Pretty much though, with this video I'm just going to be comparing why humans and herbivores are alike and carnivores and omnivores are alike. And I might know the difference in all of them. So let's jump right into it. With the facial muscles of the carnivores and omnivores, it's reduced to permit the allowance of that wide mouth gate, or gap you can say. For humans and herbivores, it's very structurized and developed. The jaw type, we have an expanded angle, while the carnivores and omnivores, it's angled and not expanded. So you look at a lion or a fox or a wolf, for that matter, and you look at the facial structure, it's angled, very angular, versus you looking at me, I don't have an angular face. It's very structurized and developed. The jaw motion, for instance, there's no shearing when we chew, but there's a full articulated motion. With the carnivores and omnivores, they have minimization of side-to-side motion, but they shear. The muscle jaw type, they mainly focus on temporalis, versus us, we use the masseter, or the pterygoid for that matter, which is just muscles that aids in mastication, located in like your cheeks and your jaw. The mouth opening versus head size, ours is predominantly small, versus carnivores and omnivores, where theirs is fairly large, because when they consume, there's an adequate amount of food at their disposal, so they need a large mouth opening. Let's get into the teeth series. The incisors, for instance, ours is short and, carnivores and omnivores are short and pointed, while ours is dull, is broad, flattened, and spade shaped. And the canine, biggest argument I hear from meat eaters is the canines. For instance, there are fruits and vegetables that are pretty hard, so we need our proper canines, versus we don't need the canines of a carnivore or omnivore, which is long, sharp, and curved, while ours is just dull and blunted, and the herbivores is dull, short, and or long for defense mechanism stuff. The molars, ours is flattened with nodular cusp. With the herbivores, it's flattened with just cusp, and the carnivores, it's blade shaped, jagged, and sharp. With the omnivores, it's either flattened, blade shaped, or even sharp itself. The outer teeth, it's going to the chewing and the alimentary tract. With the chewing, we extensively chew our food, while the carnivores and omnivores mainly just swallow their food. The liver, for instance, we can't detoxify vitamin A, but they have the capability to detoxify vitamin A. The colon, carnivores and omnivores, it's simple, short, and smooth. Herbivores is long, complex, and maybe sacculated, while ours is just long and not complex, but long and sacculated. Kidneys, for instance, ours is when we urinate, is moderately concentrated, versus the carnivores and omnivores, which is extremely concentrated. You look at the stomach, acid levels is less than or equal to 4 to 5 with food in the stomach, versus the omnivores and carnivores, which is less than or equal to 1, or a pH of 1 with food in the stomach. So you see the acidity of a carnivore versus a human. So we're supposed to be slightly alkaline in a sense too. The stomach volume, 21 to 26% of our total volume of our alimentary or our digestive tract, versus the carnivores and omnivores, which is like 60 to 70% of the total volume of their digestive tract. So you see the differences even in the stomach volume, but we eat like we got like 40 to 50%, which really we're not supposed to be consuming so much. Another difference is the claws. I can't physically go out there in nature and try to tear open some flesh because my nails are too blunted and too short. You look at saliva. We have the capability or the capable digestive enzymes to break down these complex foods, such as like an apple or a kale or spinach, versus a lion or any kind of carnivore, omnivore for that matter. Carnivore predominantly, they don't really have the capable digestive enzymes. We look at the length of our intestine. It's 10 to 11 inches of our body length, 10 to 12 in a herbivore, 4 to 6 in an omnivore, and 3 to 6 in a carnivore. So when you consume meats or yogurt or any kind of animal-derived product, you have to go through your stomach down to your small intestine where it travels, because it's like 23 feet long. And then now, that's when it putrefies and becomes rancid. And then it goes out of the small intestine near your colon and your large intestine, where now you have to defecate. But a lot of time you don't properly defecate because the food is fermenting at the end of your colon or your small intestine. So that's pretty much why, like, just broke down the anatomy, the physiology and biology of why we're supposed to be herbivores. The most common cause of death related to food consumption is meat eating. Many people die off just eating meats in general. Another argument I hear from meat eaters is vitamin B12. We need vitamin B12 from animals. Come on, man, that's a dead argument now. I mean, it's common knowledge, well, it should be, that we synthesize vitamin B12 naturally just by having a healthy gastrointestinal tract. So that argument is totally flawed and just obsolete. But that's pretty much the end of my video. Just trying to bring about awareness. This isn't necessarily an attack on people and what they do with their lives, because at the end of the day, it's what you choose to do. I chose this lifestyle. I'm just trying to bring about awareness because I've been on both sides. So with that being said, do your research, and peace. I appreciate the video, bro. You good.